Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Lakeside. And this week the video is really all about the Magnorail and the village. So without further ado, let's crack on and see what's happening. Okay, so see you in a minute. So before we get on to the Magnorail and the village, I have actually put in some lighting on the platform and also on the canopy for the bus station, but I've left the canopy off because I want to see how I get on without seeing the canopy there. I actually quite like it without the canopy. I know it's part and parcel of the kit, but it did cover up a lot of the detail. So if I just zoom in a little bit, you really had to look underneath the canopy to see the effect of what I've done there. And now the canopy is off, obviously it's all in plain view, and I'm actually quite liking that now. So I haven't put the canopy back. I still may, but I just want to live with it for a few days just to see how I get on without the canopy. But I say, at the moment I'm really quite liking it without the canopy, but we'll see, it may go on. As regards the platform canopy, I'll just quickly zoom over there. These are from the Wagon Works people, and they are their new fluorescent tube type kits they've just brought out, and I really like them. Give a great light, and dead easy to fit. They all come with wired resistors. And yeah, I think it looks really good. Oh, the other thing is, you'll be pleased to know that all the track is now weathered. If you remember, that track and that track were weathered, and the one on the other side, but these two and this one were not weathered. But I've gone through and I've weathered all the track now, so that's everything now weathered. So there's another little update. Yeah, I think it's come out really well too. Okay, so Magnorail and the village. Remember what I said, imagination. That's the key word really. So from the road, that's just a little cardboard template I've cut out. There will be the road going from Kingsway and the bus station over to the village, and the village, if I zoom out, is now looking like that at the moment. Those houses there will be staying, that's their final positions. So I've now completely covered the whole of the Magnorail in a 1mm acrylic sheet. It's one piece, so there's no joins, it's not wrinkly, and it will take paint absolutely no problem. I've keyed in with fine wet and dry all over the acrylic so that the paint keys to the acrylic, and I've put in the road along here along with some dotted lines. Now I've taken some photographs of our road outside our cottage here, really I did that for reference as regards weathering of the road, because there's cracks in the road, there's fresh tarmac where it's been repaired, all that sort of thing a normal road goes through. So I've yet to do the weathering on the road, and plus obviously all the surrounding area for gardens, shrubbery, the track which goes all the way around for the bikes. So there's a huge amount of work left to do, but this is all modular. It's not fixed, so I can take this down at any time, and that will enable me to get to all the back areas over there very easily. Then once it's down, I can then work from the back to the front, doing the embankment just along here. So again, use your imagination. So I've got 3 more boards laid down roughly. So there's one section there, another section here, and another section here. So that really is going to be the extent. This may get a bit narrower. I might not have it this full depth, but that gives you the extent of the village. So there you have the road going down. Again, use your imagination. The road going down into the yard, container yard. What else? I think that's about it really. So I've done the pavements and the curbing along here. Got my first person on the village. There's a guy there just been to the shop to get his newspaper and cigarettes for the day, and so it's just a general stores. Next to that will be the pub, and then in that area somewhere will be a church, exactly the same as there was on the previous layout. And then obviously down here will be the, if I go back from that join on, which I said will decrease to perhaps about here, and then the manor house gets bolted onto that. So this area will be quite extensive once it's done. So the Magnorail itself, I'm sorry this is going to be a short video because I've got a lot on today, not railway modelling related at all, so it's going to be quite short, but it will give you an idea. So the Magnorail hasn't changed as such, it's just got a new covering over it. But what I have done is completed the people on the bikes and also included another special edition, and I'll just bring them out and show you. So I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll just move the cottage out of the way for a minute so I can get the camera in. It's better. So what you see there are the completed people on the bikes, and if we look here, I'll just zoom in a bit. It's got a bit blurred, it's too close. I've made up a little basket on the front of Hazel's bike, and also made up a small dog which sits in the basket, and that represents our little dog Ruby. So she's sitting in the basket going for a ride as well. And that was made from, the dog anyway, was made from Milliput, is it called? Lilliput, something like that, which is like a 2-part clay which you mix together. And you've got about half an hour or so to mould it into shape, and then it goes off. You mould it into a rough shape, and then I just used a scalpel to create the shape, and I'll include a photograph to show it closer up so you can get an idea of the size. If I put my hand in front here, you can see the size. So that was an enjoyable task to create Ruby. It was incredibly fiddly. I had to use a pair of glasses, which I don't normally use, and a magnifying glass, and I just stuck the lump of Milliput on the end of a paintbrush handle with some black tack and just gently created the shape of the dog, let it go off, then got a scalpel and then just chipped away very, well, not chipped away, carved away very gently the outlines of the dog, the ears, the nose, etc. And then while it was still on the brush handle, I was then painting it let it all dry, and then I was able to then put it inside the basket. So that's really the process of how I got that. There's me. So if we draw back, we'll take her for a run. So that's about it. So it all works really lovely. Very pleased about that. It did hit the branch over there. I've just put that roughly into position just to give you an idea of why they are swerving around something. It's going to be because there's a piece of wooden, well, not a wooden tree, but a tree branch come down and blocking the pathway, so people have to swerve around it until it's removed or moved. So all the way along there will be a nice track, cycle track, overgrown with vegetation, which I can paint. And I don't think I'm going to have any problems with these wearing away any of the paint, because the area is so small. Where that little dot is a magnet, and that's the only part really which sits onto the road, so I don't think there will be too much wear. There will be some obviously as time goes on, but I can just retouch that if it gets too bad. I've got to also make the lines not quite so white and clean, so I will rub those away if I can. They are vinyl, so I might have a bit of a problem with that, but I'll see. I'll do a test piece and see how it goes. Manhole covers, of course, to put in, drains, cracks, all that sort of thing. That's all got to be done. I have lit all the houses, they all light up. So the cables are going through the baseboards and onto a connector, so I know all those lights work. The garage light works. The only thing I haven't wired up yet is the cafe and the cottage, so that's the next job to be done. But I want to get these baseboards now cut properly, joined up, so that I can take that off in one unit and model it to how I want. So all in all, I'm really impressed with this Magnorail. It's not that difficult as long as you follow the instructions. I was very tempted to lubricate it, but that's the worst thing you can do, because underneath there is the motor with the 2 gears on, which is fine. What isn't fine is that the chain is driven by 2 O-rings which sit on top of the gears, and that is what actually drives the chain, the 2 O-rings squashing together and pushing the chain along. If I lubricate it, that's going to get onto the O-ring and make them incredibly slippery, and I won't get any movement. Hence the reason for not any lubrication, which, to be fair, Magnorail do stipulate. But it's not that noisy anyway. What people don't realise is that this camera here is picking up obviously all the noise, and it's magnifying it through the microphone. So when you hear it, it's not actually the way it sounds, it's much louder. In general running up here, with me listening to it, it's absolutely certainly no louder than any trains I've got running, when I have them running, especially if I have the sound going, you would no way hear this lot going round. Right, so that's about it, I'm afraid. Not a huge lengthy video, but this was never meant to be lengthy. Just a quick update showing you how this is going and what I've been up to. Doesn't look a huge amount, I know, in comparison to last week, but I really haven't had an awful lot of time to spend up here, and what I have done has been really doing the roadway and of course the bikes themselves, which I think have come out absolutely fabulous. I'm so pleased with those, and I think this is really going to make a nice feature when it's all done. I really do. I can see it all in my head how I'm going to have it. If I can do it to what I can see in my head, then it should look really nice. Right, okay people, I'm off out, so I will love you and leave you, and hopefully in the next video I will have all the back gardens done, the track work, at least that section anyway. You never know, with a bit of luck I might have some work done over there as well. Okay, so have a great weekend for what's left of it, and obviously stay safe, and I'll speak to you all again next week. Alright, so bye for now, and obviously stay safe. Bye for now people. Bye.